The ability of the twins is equal to Hannibal Lecter. You won't believe it if you find out that the two murderers became policemen. If you want your hair to stand on end from fear and surprise, see the end of the story. Early in the morning, the sun was still playing with the clouds. The streets were empty, and only the sound of a man's footsteps heading towards the police station could be heard. This man was named Jonathan Carroll, a private detective who was in town to find one of the missing persons. Jonathan sat in front of a desk and put his hands on it. He was trying to decide how to pursue the missing persons case. He wanted to know all the details and information related to the case. But it seemed that no one in the missing person's family knew anything about him. Again, Jonathan got lost in his thoughts about the case, but this time he was awakened by his ringing phone. It was a sound he would never forget. It was an urgent call. "Mr. Carroll, this is Newman, the manager of the hospital in this town. I'm looking for you. Please come to the hospital." Jonathan quickly got up from his chair and drove to the hospital. He didn't know what the news was, but it seemed that this man needed help. When Jonathan arrived at the hospital, Newman had some very frightening news. He told Jonathan that there were two evil and murderous twins in the hospital who had been transferred to special cells in the hospital due to their illness. These twins were named Luca and Calb. Upon learning of this, Jonathan felt scared and worried. He went to see the twins in their cells. As he approached the cells, he felt that he was seeing something unusual. There was something terrifying and incomprehensible in these twins. Luca and Calb seemed to not want to see anyone in their cells. They were strangely similar to each other, with faces that looked like a dark and unpleasant mask, and tongues that seemed to have sharp and glass-like teeth. Jonathan felt that their eyes were looking at him, with a look full of anger and fear. As time passed, strange and terrifying events occurred. After a few weeks, all the hospital staff began to show strange symptoms. They began to see things that were only in their minds. Things that might never exist. Jonathan witnessed these events as well. He discovered all the weird and terrifying events and talked to the twins. In the meantime, Jonathan gradually realized that Luca and Calb had a power that many people could not comprehend. They had learned and trained to control the minds and emotions of others, and they used this power to do evil things. Jonathan told the twins that if they helped him solve the missing persons case, he would reward them with a big prize. This offer seemed attractive, so the twins agreed. After a few days, Jonathan went to one of the city's highways and searched for more information about the missing person. With the help of Luca and Calb's power, he found some information that helped him solve the case. But after the case was solved, the twins were sent to prison for their crimes. Jonathan was deeply affected by seeing and experiencing the evil and murderous twins and their strange powers. He could no longer accept the world he lived in. After the twins were imprisoned, strange and terrifying events began to occur in the city. Murders and crimes that matched the twins' thinking patterns were happening all over the city. These murders happened mysteriously and no one could uncover the reason behind them. Jonathan also became involved in these criminal cases and was looking for a way to stop these murders. He returned to the twins and persuaded them to help him reach the killers. The twins agreed to this proposal and helped Jonathan reach the killers. Jonathan and the twins went after the killer's trail, and after several days of investigation, they reached a house on the outskirts of the city. When they entered the house, a terrifying scene appeared before them. The walls were covered in blood and the bodies of the victims were scattered everywhere. Using their powers, the twins led Jonathan to a room where a brutal killer was waiting for him with a knife in hand. The killer threatened Jonathan and forced him into a fight. Jonathan fought the killer with all his abilities and defeated him. But when he saved the victim, a new witness was found. A witness who pointed to the twins and said they were the ones who gave the killer the order. Jonathan confronted the twins and urged them to be arrested by their employers. The twins agreed to this proposal and Jonathan took them to the police station. By confessing to their crime, the twins were able to escape execution in prison. Jonathan was also recognized as the hero of this case and the city praised him. But the story was not over yet. After the arrest of the twins, Jonathan became involved in another case. One of the people who had reached him was a father whose daughter had been kidnapped. Jonathan was looking for the missing girl and tried to find her. After a while, Jonathan reached a bungalow on the outskirts of the city that seemed to be the place where the girl was being held. But when he entered the bungalow, he was faced with a series of strange and terrifying events. The bungalow gate was closed and no one could enter. Jonathan tried with all his might to open the gate, but he couldn't. In the meantime, the twins joined Jonathan and with their power, they opened the bungalow gate. They found the kidnapped girl with Jonathan's help and rescued her. But the case was not over yet. After the girl was released, Jonathan and the twins faced a dangerous killer who sought revenge. He and a group of dangerous people surrounded Jonathan and the twins. Jonathan and the twins fought the group of killers with all their abilities. This fight was very dangerous and caused Jonathan and the twins to be severely injured. But in the end, they were able to reach the killers and defeat them. After ending this case, Jonathan and the twins were known as the heroes of the city and were praised by the people. They became a symbol of power and abilities beyond the ordinary and remained memorable in the hearts of the people of the city. The story is not over, and Jonathan and the twins still face new challenges in the city. But with all their abilities, they continue to pursue justice and defeat their enemies. Jonathan and the twins were looking for a way to clear the city of dangerous individuals after successfully closing their previous case. They realized that some of the dangerous individuals, including the ones they had fought before, were supported by forces that allowed them to continue their actions. Jonathan and the twins decided to go after the supporters of these individuals and defeat them. After a long run, they arrived at a tall building that seemed to be the center of activity for the dangerous individuals. They entered the building and with fearful eyes, faced a group of dangerous individuals. Jonathan and the twins fought this group of individuals with all their abilities and managed to defeat them. After clearing the building of all the dangerous individuals, they went after the supporters of these individuals. Using all their abilities, they managed to go after and defeat the supporters of these individuals, and upon their return to the city, they were praised by the citizens. However, after a while, Jonathan became involved in a new case. One of the individuals that had come into his possession was a girl who seemed to be full of secrets. With a trembling voice, the girl led Jonathan to a hidden place. When Jonathan arrived at the hidden place, he was confronted with a strange and terrifying sight. In this place, a group of dangerous individuals were preparing the girl as a victim for a dark and savage ceremony. Jonathan fought this group of dangerous individuals with all his abilities and managed to save the girl. But after this event, Jonathan realized that this girl seemed to have important information about a secret organization that was trying to take control of the city. Jonathan decided to search for this organization and find out more information about it. Using the information he had obtained from the girl, Jonathan arrived at a place that seemed to be the center of this secret organization. Jonathan searched for more information about this organization with fearful eyes upon entering this place. But after a while, he came face to face with one of the members of this organization, who seemed to be the strongest person in the organization. Jonathan fought this member with all his abilities and managed to defeat him. With the defeat of this strong member, Jonathan was able to obtain more information about this organization. But over time, Jonathan realized that this secret organization was much larger and more complex than he had thought. He decided to search for more help and collaborate with a team of other daring individuals to put an end to this secret organization. He fought individuals who were trying to take control of the city with all his abilities and managed to defeat this secret organization. With the end of this secret organization, Jonathan was praised as a hero by the citizens. He decided to search for other cases to help the citizens and clear the city of any threats. He will forever be remembered as a hero in the hearts of the citizens, and the dangerous individuals will always fear him.